I'm not going to say the journalist's name, but everybody's going to know who I'm talking about. This journalist was fired from Fox and flew across the ocean to the big country that has a lot of snow and interviewed that president. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. That is going to be a bombshell
Yeah.
interview when it's released. It turns out that the NSA had been monitoring his texts and emails for about 2 years. And then about a month before this time period today, they were applying heavy pressure for him not to go. So this has been in the works for about 2 years. And he speculated that it was one of the main reasons why he was let go from Fox. They
Hmm.
really do not want whatever he's got to say to get out. And I anticipate, because I have been on this topic for quite some time, that the president of that country knows some things, which is why you never see his interviews aired anywhere. They highly suppress anything that comes out of that area. So, what's
Yeah.
your thoughts, Watchful?
I've already got some T-shirt ideas and some merchandise for how I expect this to go down. It would not surprise me if he cannot come back into the country as a result of this.
Or disappears?
Exactly my point. They do not want this interview uh, made public. There's information they don't want. They're going to say it's under the guise of national security, but I personally think that it's under exposing corruption and exposing, evil plots. We're getting closer to that April 8th eclipse. So
Yeah,
I think things are heating up. This is definitely another log on the fire to start stoking that fire to get it really hot. So
absolutely. To answer your question, Jay, do I think he's controlled opposition? I don't think so. There's some people I have questions about whether being on the fence about their fruit, but for some reason I have a really it's his fruit seems very good. I can't tell you why. I can't give you an answer onto that. It's not that I can't say it. It's just I don't know how to say it. He seems like he cares, and I get no weird feelings or vibes about him. Unlike other people we've talked about that I question. What's your thoughts on that, Watchful?
yeah, I don't get any bad vibes either. From any of the people that we've talked about. It's looking at the fruit. We're aware of both the bad and the good, and I think we've made it clear that the fruit seems to outweigh the bad. The bad is questionable on if it's not just propaganda. Another thing to be cognizant of is not only the fruit of the people that we're observing, but also the opposition to those people.
Yeah.
The amount of hate that somebody directs towards someone is evident of evil, because if what is it in James, it talks about you can't say that you love God and hate your brother, because that is not love. When they're trying, on one hand they're trying to tell you that they love God and that they're doing the right thing, and then they have this massive amount of hate for these different people. It just doesn't work that way. So I think all of this is exposing the evil and the corruption in the system. It's getting out of their control, and I think they're freaking out. And it seems to me that this is very likely going to result in probably the Great Tribulation. It would seem to me that when the 42 months starts, or when that 1,260 days start, where they start to actually persecute the saints, it's because they've realized that their systems have degraded. They can no longer manage the propaganda and no longer control the narrative, to where now they're just going to have to take a different approach, where it's a do or die. You either need to declare that you're with them, or that you're with somebody else. I can see the setup for a mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast, he causes all, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to take the mark, right? So it seems like we're coming up on that period of time right now, and you can see these things escalating.
Thank you for watching this segment from our live show. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for the Sabbath period.